Hello everyone, today I'll be introducing YieldSage. YieldSage is an industrial grade, fully autonomous yield intelligence ecosystem built for the Mantle Network. YieldSage tracks, scores, and cryptographically anchors DeFi with recommendations on-chain, serving them through a web app like what we have here in the launch app section here, and conversational Telegram agent. So here's our landing page that pretty much describes what YieldSage is all about. So we have some key features here. Our AI yield ranking. This is essentially a live leaderboard that scores every tracked Mantle pool by APY, TVL depth, and protocol health. Data is refreshed hourly. Data is sourced from Dune Analytics, which is a platform for extracting and analyzing on-chain data. Another key feature we have here is our risk-adjusted allocation, where a user can select his or her preferred risk appetite. Here, we currently have stable, moderate, and aggressive risk tiers. We also have another feature called paper trading simulation, where you can test out any yield strategy with simulated capital before providing real funds. Then after trading via the paper trading simulation, you can track your performance hourly and also get alerted when your position underperforms. Another feature we also have is the real-time Telegram alert, where you get instant notifications the moment a superior risk-adjusted pool opens up on Mantle. Then currently we have over 10 protocols that are actively tracked on our agent. The main protocols here are Merchant Mo, Agnifinance, Fluxion, Ondo, and a whole lot of others. So here we have our Telegram bots, where you can converse with and also get advice and yield opportunities. Currently we have our live yield intelligence integrated in our bot. We have our paper trade simulation and also on-chain proof verification. Speaking of on-chain proof verification, here it is here. Here, every decision or every AI recommendation in that sense is permanently logged on-chain, so you can cross-reference and also look at them historical. So here's our historical AI recommendation with on-chain proofs. So essentially, you can pretty much get the reasoning behind our AI models recommendation for each pool. Here's an example. So currently we are looking at the Aave v3 protocol and the USDE pool. So currently we see that the AI has assigned a risk classification for this pool. It's currently unstable. So here is the current APY and the TVL. So in this section you can see the AI reasoning. Currently it's powered by the AI model MetaLlama 3.378708 instruct. Then we see the timestamp it was called at. You can also choose to view on Mantle Blockchain Explorer, just to have a grasp of what it says on chain. So here's info from the Blockchain Explorer. Then you could decide to actually invest in the protocol with this invest button or simulate a trade. So here is the actual paper trading simulation. You could decide to select an amount of US dollars you would like to invest in. So then once you click on approve, it takes you to our Telegram bot. So once you click this, it creates a paper trade position. Then with this button, you can view your active positions or your active paper trade positions. So currently, these are my active positions on YieldSage. They're all paper trades, so these are not my real figures. That's how it was designed to. You can also choose to verify the transaction on chain or verify the transaction in our bot using the verify command. So you click verify. So it tells you that we need to copy the transaction hash, which is what we have here. Copy the transaction hash. So here we can see our cryptographic proof has been verified successfully. So this pretty much just emphasizes what we have in our UI here, in our website's UI here. So this is the Telegram equivalent of our website's UI. Pretty much the same thing. APY gives us the AI model that reasoned. So you can decide to select others from here. You can click on next to find other AI recommendations on YieldSage. So next we are going to launch our application proper. Launching this application proper takes us to our dashboard, our actual dashboard. Cool. So currently we see that we have currently 11 protocols being tracked and 114 pools being tracked. So here are the pools and here are the protocols. You can choose to pick the particular risk tier filter, for the risk tier you choose. So you can also choose to, select a specific protocol. So here we pick Agni Finance. You can choose other protocols. Merchant Mo. Here's Merchant Mo. So essentially, we are pretty much giving you an interface that is currently ordered by TVL. So the highest TVL currently is on Aave, on the staked USDE token. Then we have our trend, the 1-day trend, 7-day trend, 30-day trend. You can choose to, here we have two actions. You can choose to invest or simulate. Invest actually means you actually want to deposit, funds into the protocol's liquidity, or deposit liquidity into the protocol. So here, for example, if you choose to, invest in Agni, you can click on invest, and then it takes you to Agni Finance, right? So this is where you can actually, connect your wallet and invest into the protocols via this button here. Or if you don't choose to, or if you choose to, play it safe and, simulate your trade, you can also, simulate the trade. So simulating the trade will actually let you, will actually give you the opportunity to see how your proposed fund will perform over time. So the same thing, once you click on that button there, it takes you to Telegram. Then you now have your actual paper trade position opened. So with this, you can monitor. So currently our API is 0.00%. Obviously, I don't expect a particular yield from this, but you can choose other APYs, other non-zero APYs to try out. So we can try this with another pool. We can use the USDT 0 on Aave V3. So let's simulate a $1,000 trade. Direct us to our Telegram bot. So here we see our active position. I invested $1,000. Obviously, that's not real funds. So here we have our entry API. So what this does is, over time, every hour I will receive hourly recommendation on how this position and my other positions are doing over time. So currently I have more than 10 active paper trade positions currently. So this is the beauty of YieldSage. So here we have our AI recommendation for the different risk tiers: stable, moderate, and aggressive. So in essence, we have like a multi-provider LLM cascade that evaluates each pool's data. So now, to ensure 100% uptime, our scoring pipeline, attempts to score the pools using Cerebras, falling back to SambaNova, Groq, NVIDIA NIM, and Gemini. So we do this, to mitigate the risk of rate limits occurring. So yeah, this is pretty much what we've done so far with YieldSage. So we also have a watch list section where you can select, specific pools that catches your fancy, just to check their performance over time. So you can also connect with our bot directly via two options: the chat with agent button here or the brain icon here. So once you click on the brain icon, it takes you to our Telegram bot again. Here we see the other commands we have, right? We see the yield commands pretty much tells us our live yield positions or the live yields currently being tracked on YieldSage. You can check positions to check your active paper trades. You can use the trade command to simulate a new paper trade. So you can select a specific pool of your choice to simulate a paper trade. We also have the prompt function, right, to intelligently ask our AI some questions. So we can ask, okay, for example, what are the safest yields on Mantle right now? So you should be getting a response anytime soon. So currently our agent has given us, the safest yields on Mantle. You can also ask it more questions with the same prompts. So we can ask this question: what happens if a protocol CVL drops significantly? So here we got a response from our agent. You can also ask these random questions, for example, so it's going to give us a response any moment from now. So here's our response. So pretty much you can also, what this means essentially is, you can decide to use our already predefined prompts here like this, or you could ask, specific questions you have in mind. You can ask more personalized questions to it via this button here. So we can go back to our web interface now. Then we also have a docs section, where we have a docs section where we have more detailed information about what we are all about in YieldSage. You can check it out yourself. We have frequently asked questions that we answer right here, So what we're trying to do in YieldSage is bridge the gap between complex on-chain DeFi data, cryptographic trusts, and accessible AI intelligence. So we want to make AI accessible to Mantle users. So you can try the app today. You can choose to paper trade. Thank you all for watching.